We are at the Eastern Flank Summit in Helsinki, Finland, and joining me now is one of the attendees of the summit, Prime Minister of Latvia, Evika Siliņa. Madam Prime Minister, welcome to TVP World.
Yes, hello.
So I want to start with the latest peace talks on Ukraine. In Berlin, there were talks between the US, Ukraine and Europe delegations. Are we closer to peace than ever before?
By what we have been told today by those who attended yesterday's meeting on Berlin, Prime Minister of Sweden, Poland as well, and the President of Finland, it seems like we could be closer than ever before. And what we can hear from as well our Ukrainian partners, it seems that those negotiations, which has been ongoing now for a while between Ukrainian side, American side, and Europe's, as well as Americans between Russians, are very close to something. The question is what it will be, because for us it's important as well for Europeans that Americans, at least as it has been said by our colleagues today, are on the same page as us and Ukrainians, but still there are negotiations going on about those territories which are very sensitive to Ukrainians, we can understand. And unfortunately, we still don't know what Russia will react, because we can't expect very welcoming Russian reaction, because we always know that Russians are not very eager to have a peace. And what we know is that we as well cannot let Ukraine lose a lot just to get peace. Therefore, I think it's very important that Europeans can get a decision on frozen assets, as well as we have to move forward with integration of Ukraine into Europe.
Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk told me here at the summit that one of his main takeaways from these talks in Berlin was that we are now again one team, Ukraine, US and Europe. Do you agree with that sentiment?
That could be my assessment as well from what I heard today from our Finnish friends and Swedish Prime Minister, that yes, that could be like the most positive outcome, as well as for Europeans and Ukrainians, that we are the one team. Because we can remember a little bit like in summertime, we still had some doubts where we all stand for, but now I think a tremendous job has been put in, and we have been going back and forth, many of different kind of leaders speaking with the American side, Ukrainians were speaking with them, we with Ukrainians, so back and forth, and I think the result is that we are more or less on the same page. It seems like.
Well, it seems like, exactly, because these doubts are with us, I think, constantly. I mean, we've just had the US national security strategy where, you know, there was harsh criticism towards Europe from the White House. And, you know, in these negotiations, we have a US delegation led by Steve Witkoff, special envoy, and Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, but there is no Trump at these negotiations. What happens if he changes his mind and once again comes out with strong criticism of Europe and also potentially another unfavorable peace plan for Ukraine?
You know, in politics and in diplomacy, you always have to be ready for the next move. That's probably the truth of all of it, and if we are open to that, so we will be ready. But if we look to American strategic plan, there are so many things we already are doing, and as well as Poland. We actually are putting more financial resources on our defense. All Baltic states has committed to go up to 5% starting from next year. You already are there, so nothing else to complain. And it benefits all our countries which were actually today on Eastern Flank Summit, because we all need more stronger Europe. Because if we are not strong enough, sure, we know that we never can estimate Russia be very peaceful. So if we are better prepared, it can benefit us.
German Chancellor Friedrich Merz said recently that we are witnessing the end of Pax Americana, meaning that Europe has to defend itself without the guarantees from the United States. Are you ready to defend yourselves if the United States doesn't come to your aid?
It's a tricky question, because sure, we are already defending ourselves. We are facing hybrid threats from Belarus, we are facing hybrid threats from Russia, sabotages, and we are there. We are ready to investigate those criminal acts, and we are facing drones which are coming from Russia. So we actually are already doing as much as we can, and we're learning our lessons. But sure, We are very eager to have US as our transatlantic partner, to have their capabilities, what we don't have now in Europe. And that's our task probably for all of European leaders. While we cannot replace what the US has, we need to have them on the same page with us.
Okay, but what if Russia does invade? Like, are you ready to defend yourselves? Perhaps with the help of other allies. I mean, maybe that's why we have this summit here, that maybe we should be looking at some other partners.
I think we need really to strengthen ourselves, but there will not be like an isolation of one part, like Eastern flank only, or NATO only, or EU only, or Nordic Baltics, for example, because all those plans, what we are doing now, in a defense level, still will be overruled or like ruled by NATO. NATO has plans, NATO has strategies, and we need to complement each other. We don't need to overlap those plans. Therefore, yes, we need to boost up our defense capabilities, and what is good, we can coordinate now in Eastern flank better with European Union. We will probably be those who will define how European Eastern border priorities will look like, what actually our security will look like, because before, in European policy, we were not about security, we were more about economy, social affairs, and maybe foreign policy. So therefore, I believe we are reshaping Europe as well, because those actions are reshaping European Union, and what all the situation has done to Europe, we are stronger than ever before. We need to take it, and we need to take from that what we can, because for Baltic states and Latvia, we understand that we have to be ready for any situation, but I think the signal for Europe is now drones can fly whatever they want, and therefore Europe as such need to prepare themselves in a much more technical way and much smarter way.
Thank you so much for our conversation, Prime Minister. Evika Siliņa, Prime Minister of Latvia, was our guest here on TVP World. My name is Kazimierz Łysiak.